the Chinese are very, very, very keen not to talk about this at all. And they put forward this theory that COVID-19 emerged from frozen meat imported into China, which of course is not very plausible. And what's quite sort of extraordinary about this is that there's really no investigation going on in China into what caused COVID-19.
They don't want to know, because as soon as they know, someone else could find out, i.e. US intelligence assets, for example.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, I just think that there's no upside to them knowing, and it all depends. I mean, there's a kind of the preponderance of evidence points towards a lab leak, but it's still possible it could have come naturally. But there's so much of a downside for China to I mean, just imagine if they already knew that, and then why would they be investigating? There'd be no point in investigating, would they, if they already knew it was a lab leak?
But do you find it surprising that, okay, you can sort of understand why the Chinese don't want to know, but there aren't that many people necessarily even in the West. The US has definitely become more interested in it, but even journalistically, you're obviously ploughing this furrow. But considering that 7 million people died around the world and it transformed all of our lives, even now, that there is so little interest, really, in the origin of this story.
Yeah, there is, and it's quite. I mean, say for example, the British government have done zero. I mean, they have not taken any interest in it at all. The American, it's more the Republicans in America, because they kind of, I suppose it fits in with their kind of anti-China kind of stance, whereas the Democrats are much more conciliatory, which is why you see recently there was a kind of intelligence report released, which is very disappointing. It was about 4 pages and said hardly anything, and if anything, it just tried to minimize everything. And the World Health Organization tried to have its own investigation, but that they went over there. They were kind of walked around for 2 weeks and they saw nothing. And they went into they went into the Wuhan lab for a morning.
The Newsagents. This is a Global Player original podcast.